Thanks very much. Viewers, of course, today we've had the first look at the prospective parliament, the new one, and we are going to focus on that in just a few moments. But viewers, we're at a point when some people in this country, when a Lutyens ecosystem in this country will go to any lengths to score a political point. Nothing is sacred. No Bharatiya tradition, no Bharatiya text, no Bharatiya symbol. Let me substantiate this with some facts. In Karnataka, the Congress that had decades ago, influenced by the thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi, brought in a fair number of anti-cow slaughter laws across the country, is now in the state of Karnataka looking to repeal the ban on cow slaughter only because, viewers, they oppose the Bharatiya Janata Party. Only because, viewers, they want to focus on a particular vote bank. In Bihar, several politicians from the ruling JDU-RJD alliance want large tracts of the Ramcharitmanas deleted. Why? To score brownie points with a vote bank. And now, in a desperate attempt to score points against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, at least that's what the BJP believes, because his government has organized an elaborate and long overdue tribute to a symbol of India's ancient civilization, the Sengol. The Congress party and its sympathizers have unleashed a campaign to undermine this glorious and sacred scepter. I told you, viewers, nothing is sacred. Nothing at all. No Bharatiya tradition, no Bharatiya text, and no Bharatiya symbol. Indeed, the Congress has branded the Sengol a bogus object. Viewers, if it was so bogus, why was it handed to Jawaharlal Nehru? If it was so bogus, why was it kept, preserved for posterity, in a museum? Why at all, viewers, exalted to the status of a prop? Let's believe them. The status of a prop at India's arguably finest moment, which is when power was handed over, viewers, from the British to Indians. Today, viewers, this Sengol has become a bogus object for the Congress party. In an attempt to rob the Sengol of its sanctity and its sheen, in tweet after tweet today, various Congress leaders tried to suggest that the Sengol has no symbolic value because there is no evidence to suggest it was handed to Nehru to mark the transfer of power from the British to Indians. Now, viewers, this response has come out a day after the Congress party was attacked relentlessly on social media and the wider public. Why? Because the Sengol ended up being described as a walking stick, as Nehru's walking stick, if you please, viewers. So now, to protect themselves, the Congress party has gone beyond the original travesty. Forget about being a walking stick, it is a bogus item now. Sample these tweets. Let me call them up on your screens, viewers. There. This is Jairam Ramesh, who is today in charge of the Congress communication strategy, and he takes very regularly to social media to attack anchors, to attack all sorts of people who have found fault or fact-checked or even criticized the Congress party. And he does it in a very acerbic manner, but that's his style. and he thinks that it's effective, and that's his call. And once again, in that typical style, he says, new parliament being consecrated with typically false narratives. Distorians. So he's already taken a position. Distorians stand exposed yet again with maximum claims, minimum evidence. Mountbatten, Rajaji or Nehru didn't call Sengol symbol of transfer of power. That's what he says. No mention, says another Congress personality, Manish Tiwari. No mention of Mountbatten handing over the Sengol to Nehru in my perusal. Who is transferring power to whom on 28th May 2023? Question mark. Just curious. That's Manish Tiwari, a former INB minister and, of course, a Congress member of parliament. Now, the problem is that the Congress missed a trick, viewers. They forgot that the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment Policy Note of 2021-2022, published by the party's own state government in Tamil Nadu, proudly recounts the Sengol ceremony of 1947. And what I'm going to do now is to try and ask Sharif Bhai to put it on screen. The note exactly. Now there it is, viewers. The note is on your right-hand side in that white box. And what does this note say? In the note, it is clearly written that the scepter played an integral part symbolizing the transfer of power. Now, viewers, please do excuse me if I make a few pronunciation errors because I claim to be no expert. But let me quote this document, this policy note of 2021-2022, prepared not by Rahul Shivshankar, but by the Tamil Nadu state government just a year ago. And as you know, viewers, the Tamil Nadu state government is run by a coalition that includes the DMK and the Congress. So the Congress's ally, viewers, its own state government is putting out the facts. And it says, Tiruvaradutharai Adhinam Thambiran Swamigal handed over the gold-plated silver scepter to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. This signified the transfer of power from British Governor General Lord Mountbatten to the first Prime Minister of India. This is what this very important note says, viewers. Now, think about it. Why would an agency of the government of Tamil Nadu, where the Congress is in power, say all these things if it was not the truth? In fact, viewers, under that clause 24, you can see what is written there. At the time of enthronement, the traditional guru or the preceptor of the king would hand over the ceremonial scepter to the new ruler. Following this tradition, when the Uduvars completed the singing of the last line, 11th stanza, from Kolaru Patigam Tevaram, Thiruvatuthurai Adhinam Thambiran Swamigal handed over the gold-plated silver scepter to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. This signified the transfer of power from the British Governor General Lord Mountbatten to the first Prime Minister of India. And once again, I apologize, viewers, if I've been remiss in pronouncing certain words right. I don't want to hurt anyone's sensitivities. I don't claim to be an expert on the Tamil language, and therefore I apologize, but this is what is written there, and I think it's quite clear. Now contrast this. Let's put this on one side and contrast this with what Jairam Ramesh has said. So let me ask Sharif Bhai to put this on one side and that on the other. There you see it, viewers. On the right-hand side of your screens, what do you see? You see Jairam Ramesh holding forth. New parliament being consecrated with typically false narratives. He goes on to say, What does he go on to say? Viewers, if we can press the continue button, I can read it for you, viewers. He says, "Distorians stand exposed yet again with maximum claims, minimum evidence. Mountbatten, Rajaji or Nehru didn't call Sengol symbol of transfer of power." Well, someone did, viewers. Someone did for it to end up in a Congress state government document that the Sengol was handed over to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And why? Because it signified the transfer of power from the British Governor General Lord Mountbatten to the first Prime Minister of India. Now, viewers, obviously, the Congress's claim has been fact-checked left, right, and center today. In fact, a large number of people have been quoting this document and busily exposing the Congress. And let me also tell you, viewers, that I have in my hand a copy of a newspaper report from the Hindu, May 24th, 2023, written by Mr. N. Sai Charan. It's got a byline on this, viewers. So he also writes, and let me read it out to you. And this is important. He writes that the Adhinam, that this was specially commissioned, not that. Let's not put out this, oh, lovely dawn, India, Time magazine. I'm sorry, viewers, I don't seek endorsement from the likes of Time magazine. It's the same rag that went on a rant and religiously goes on a rant against India without any basis. In fact, I think all BJP leaders today did a great disservice to themselves by quoting out of this Time magazine. Let me tell you this, viewers, it should be thrown into the trash can. But nonetheless, that's my view, and I don't want to get carried away by this. So, Adhinam, this was specially commissioned. What are we talking about, viewers? The Sengol was specially commissioned by the Adhinam and was handed over to the soon-to-be Prime Minister before his historic speech, Tryst with Destiny, given in the Constituent Assembly to announce the birth of the nation freed from British India. So that part is now very, very clear, that it was handed over, and here are some pictures, they're on your screens. A large number, obviously, viewers, of people are extremely upset, and let me just very quickly tell you that also the Adhinam's pontiff, enraged, spoke to Times Now, spoke to the media at large, and this is what he said. Listen in.
Sengol சிறப்பு பற்றி நாம் எல்லாம் இந்த உலகம் முழுவதும் இன்று பரவி கொண்டிருக்கிறது. இந்த செங்கோல் திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனத்தின் மூலமாக 1947 அன்று பாரத பிரதமர் ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு அவர்களுக்கு திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனம் மூலமாக வழங்கப்பட்டது. இந்த சுதந்திரம் அடைந்த பின்பு நேருஜி, ராஜாஜி, மூத்த தலைவர்கள் எல்லாம் நமது திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனத்தில் தொடர்பு கொண்டார்கள். தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு ஒரு பெருமை கிடைத்திருக்கிறது. நம்ம நாட்டுக்கு, தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு அவ்வளோதான். செங்கோல் போனது திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனத்திலிருந்து. திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனம் தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கிறது, அதுவும் சோழ நாட்டில் இருக்கிறது. சேர நாடு, சோழ நாடு, பாண்டிய நாடு, இந்த 3 பிரிவுகளில் அரசர்கள் அரசாண்டார்கள். இது திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனம் சோழ நாட்டில் இருக்கிறது. சில பேர் தவறான செய்திகளை கருதி கொண்டு இருக்கிறார்கள். என்னென்றால் இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் அது பொய்யான ஒரு தகவல், செங்கோல் கொடுக்கவில்லை என்று சொல்கிறார்கள். இதெல்லாம் பொய்யான தகவல். இதில் 1940 ஆங்கில ஏட்டிலெல்லாம் வந்திருக்கிறது. அதுலேயும் புகைப்படம் இருக்கிறது. அதில் பார்த்தா தெரியும். இதை புத்தகத்திலையும் நமது திருவாவடுதுறை ஆதீனத்தில் துரசை செங்கோல் இந்திய சுதந்திரம் என்ற புத்தகத்திலையும் நாம் எல்லாம் போட்டிருக்கிறோம். இதெல்லாம் பார்த்தா நமக்கு தெளிவு கிடைக்கும், எல்லாருக்கும் தெளிவு கிடைக்கும்.
With the Adhinam having weighed in and set the record straight, the Congress may not be able to credibly defend its attack, viewers, on the Sengol. In fact, the Congress has not even been able to explain who tagged the Sengol, the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's walking stick, if you please, in an ultimate act of disregard for a symbol closely associated with India's historical Sanatan civilization. I want to open this up And I want to have a conversation, an honest one tonight, with some of our stakeholders. And I want to begin this evening with Tehseen Poonawalla, Nikhil Jain, and Sanju Verma, who are the political stakeholders tonight, viewers. And since this has become such a big political row, Nikhil Jain, I want to begin with you. You're a Congress sympathizer. I want to ask you, sir, where is the proof? Where is the written proof that the Sengol was not part of the handover? You are asking, where is the proof that it was part of the handover? Can you show me one document that says it was not? One statement by Mr. Nehru, one statement by Mr. Rajaji.
Rahul, you're asking me to prove a negative. The BJP is the one making the assertion and they should be the ones proving it, but I am not here to debate on whether the Sengol was given by Lord Mountbatten to Jawaharlal Nehru or not. The question your viewers must understand today is that Sengol was given by the Chola kings when they transferred power from one king to another. Who is the king today? Why does our democratically elected Prime Minister want to behave like a king is something I don't understand.
Nikhil Jain, since you asked the rhetorical question,
of an imperial era, an important part of Indian independent history.
Let me respond. Yeah. You know, sages are very, very prescient. They know, they can see in time. And they handed the monarch of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, this scepter. You know why? So he could perpetuate his dynasty. Like most. No, you have walked into this tonight.
Rahul,
no, Mr. Jain, 1 second. One Gandhi after the other. Let me finish. No, look, let me just finish. You can speak over me, you can shout me down, but you are the one who said, who's transferring power to whom, which king is getting it? Well, one king certainly did get it. And that king was Nehru. Because look how many princes and princesses stake claim to the throne of India.
You asked for it.
You asked for it, sir. Now, let's get back to the most substantive part of this debate. Let's not digress down this silly alleyway.
Rahul, give me 20 seconds to respond to the point you made. 20 seconds to respond. You said that the Sengol was handed over to a monarch, and that is precisely what I'm trying to tell you. Over to a democratically elected leader, to a prime
minister, not at that time.
To a monarch.
Elected at that time, know your history. Nikhil Jain. We are talking about 1947. He was the boss of an interim interim regime. Absolutely. I just want to make it very clear that the first Indian election that was held was in 1952. Nikhil Jain doesn't know even his basic history. In fact, viewers, Nehru changed a constitution he wrote himself without being elected to restrict our freedom of speech and expression. That was the first amendment to the Indian Constitution. That is how monarchical his attitude was.
Constituent Assembly was an elected body. Constituent Assembly was an elected body, Rahul. Constituent Assembly was an elected body.
That's true.
It was not an appointed or nominated body like the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi.
Sir, 1 second. Do you forget, Mr. Nikhil Jain, can you allow me, sir?
Like the Delhi LG.
Oh my gosh. This guy,
please do.
Anyhow, Nikhil Jain, you're a brilliant man.
Point out one thing,
remember, those elections were held under an India that was not free, where restrictions of huge amounts were placed on our franchise. It was not universal, sir. Have you forgotten this? Have you forgotten?
No, I haven't, but he was nowhere a monarch.
Of course he was.
How do you make the claim?
He made his own constitution without taking it to the people. He changed it. And then he spawned a large... Look, I'm speaking in metaphors since you are speaking in metaphors. Okay, Mr. Jain? You can't be hoist on your own petard and then say, oh, nothing has happened. Your head's been blown off tonight because you walked into something. So let me now tell you, and I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla. Tehseen Poonawalla, fine. Jairam Ramesh is the fount of all truth. He's an intellectual par excellence. Let me also begin with a double negative question with you. Tehseen Punal, it's a straight question. Where is the proof that the Sengol was not a symbol of the transfer of power? Number one. Did Mr. Nehru ever say this? Did Rajaji ever say this? Is there a document? Number one. Since Jairam Ramesh is making the claim, he should adduce the proof. I can only show you proof, and let me go back to that document from the HRNC policy note. There it is. A Congress government in Tamil Nadu puts this document out, acknowledging that this signified the transfer of power from the British Governor General Lord Mountbatten to the first Prime Minister of India. Why was this document put out if it was all a lie? Tell me.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahul, so much for having me on the show. I hope I'm not going to be interrupted because I'm going to make two very clear points. One about the press conference about the Honorable Adhinam that you just showed. And prior to that, you asked me to prove that it's not there. As Nikhil Jain said, you're asking me to prove a negative. But may I ask if somebody, let's assume hypothetically, and I don't want to be interrupted, with respect, Rahul Ishwar, my friend, says he has X-ray eyes. And I say, prove it. He says, no, you prove it. I don't have X-ray eyes. You can't. The onus is on them to prove it. So may I just quote from the same press conference what the respected Adhinam said in the same press conference that you showed, because with respect to you, Rahul, and I have so much respect for you and your channel, I think it's not extremely clear what Adhinam ji has said. Adhinam ji, while releasing the 46-page book, said that there exists no evidence. The Adhinam ji said this, of the transfer of power claim. Everything, yes. It is a pride for Tamil Nadu. Yes, it was given to Nehru ji. Yes, it was commissioned, but there exists no evidence. The Hindu report of my birthday of a few days ago that you quote is the only evidence taken from a book by claim made by Guru Murthy, made by somebody else, which is WhatsApp evidence, which the government of India writes WhatsApp history in its own press note. May I please ask everyone respected here, including the Times of India, for whom we all were on record, show me one evidence that it was done. None of us, neither Nikhil or I, are running this down. This was a historic event. It was handed over to Nehruji, but it's not about transfer of power. Number two, just one last point, and I want to end it here. Even if this was about transfer of power, the Constitution's first three words are we the people, transfer of power to we the people. Today, my people in Manipur are burning. What is this celebration and this debate about? Today, my people, there's a BJP MP charged with sexual misconduct with youngsters and charged under the POSCO Act. Why is that not about the transfer of power
Mr. Poonawala, Mr. Poonawala,
the BJP is diverting with lies.
Mr. Poonawala, look, you can choose to be on a debate.
WhatsApp University.
Okay, Mr. Poonawala, you can choose to be part of Harvard University, no problems. Okay, let the rest of the country be part of WhatsApp University. Just give me 30 seconds. You're not going to let me speak. If you're not going to let me speak, then this is not going to be a debate, is it?
Oh my God.
So let me just come back to you. 1 second. Mr. Tehseen Poonawala, look. You still haven't answered the fundamental question. You said, where is the document? I've shown you the document. It's been produced by your own Congress state government, and it's there on your screens. Now, what am I supposed to think after I see this?
May I answer that?
Yeah, of course.
Just like the union government, same year, including this Congress government, is wrong on this fact. The Adhinam ji who you quote has said there is no evidence.
You are right.
No
Jairam Ramesh is right. But a government that is supposed to... 1 second. I'm not talking about a WhatsApp University here. I'm talking about the government out there.
And it is wrong. And it is
ruling.
Wrong. The union government
on what basis are you claiming, Tehseen Poonawala, that it's wrong? Why would the Congress government be wrong about such a symbolic...
No if and but, it is wrong on the transfer of power.
So, viewers, I don't know.
The government in its best release,
I don't know which government lies to its own people. If it is making up stories, then viewers, that government doesn't deserve to be in power. So Tehseen Poonawala can definitely go out there and say, and he's within his rights to say that the state government of Tamil Nadu, which incidentally the DMK Congress one, is lying to the people. It's wrong. He can say that, but he can't deny what I'm showing you on your screens. In fact, viewers, I wish I had the power to circle those words. I am not saying it. Neither, viewers, is the BJP saying it. This has been admitted by a Congress state government.
But the Adhinamji says that it's not. He himself says that there is no.
You are
precedent.
quoting the Adhinam yourself. Please read this note.
Yes, sir, I read it.
Well, there you go. I
But
don't
it
know
was-
where you are talking about the Adhinam saying that he didn't and all. I haven't seen that. I only saw the Adhinam saying, and they're conducting a
was
prayer
handed over to
ceremony.
Nehru.
My point is, one second.
Please, sir.
This is a policy document, viewers, of some very religious significance also. The HRNCE Act manages, it's the custodian of Hindu temples. It manages my religion. Rahul Ishwar will tell you a little while. RN Capital's chief tonight, Mr. Pai, will tell you in just a few moments. But I want Sanju Verma to come in. Sanju Verma, look, let's not go around in circles tonight. My researcher has pointed me to a fact. And let me read this out to you. What Rajmohan Gandhi, grandson of Rajaji, has written in an op-ed. Rajmohan Gandhi, rather. If I'm allowed a personal comment before making a couple of broader points, let me, as Rajaji's grandson and biographer, state that before the reports of the Home Minister's press conference appeared in the media, I had never heard of Rajaji's purported role in the Sengol story. Since the 1947 story is new to many, and not just to me, I hope that documents that confirm the roles in the story ascribed to Mountbatten, Nehru and Rajaji are made public as soon as possible. It's very simple. You could do that.
Okay. Rahul, first and foremost, I'm somebody who never gets intimidated, but I think today you are at your acerbic best. So I will choose my words very carefully because I do not want to, land up where Nikhil Jain landed up and you had to teach him basic history. I will read out two tweets which have gone viral. One is by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and one is by Rahul Shivshankar on the Sengol issue before I give my views. Amit Shah said today, why does the Congress party hate Indian traditions and culture so much? A sacred Sengol was given to Pandit Nehru by a holy Shaivite mutt from Tamil Nadu to symbolize India's freedom, but it was banished to a museum as a walking stick. This was a tweet put out on 26th May today at 11:47 a.m. And then there is another tweet by you, Rahul. This was on 24th May at 4:49 p.m. which again symbolizes what the Sengol is all about and captures the essence of this controversy in more ways than one. It is unfortunate that the sacred Sengol, a symbol of transfer of power, wasn't placed in Parliament but relegated to a footnote in a museum for 75 years. Boycott BJP by all means, but why boycott the restoration of the glory of Indian ethos? Tweeted by you on 24th May at 4:49 p.m. My simple logic is this. I've said this often. Of course, today I'm speaking in my capacity as the national spokesperson of the BJP. But say for a bit, let me keep my ideological affiliation aside, my political loyalties apart. I want to ask a simple question. Why is it that the Congress is so scared of our rich cultural legacy? Why is it that when we decided a couple of months back, not even a couple of years back, to replace Scottish hymn by Henry Francis Lyte, Abide With Me, which is played at the Beating the Retreat ceremony held every year at Vijay Chowk. We replaced that with Lata Mangeshkar's iconic and Mere Watan Ke Logo. The Congress raised a stink. When we decided to build the National War Memorial and then subsequently had the Amar Jawan Jyoti at the India Gate merged with the one at National War Memorial, the Congress raised a stink. Once again, a couple of months back, when we decided to install a 28-foot tall statue of Subhash Chandra Bose, Netaji Bose, at India Gate in a canopy that was vacated by George V way back in 1968, the Congress raised a stink. When we decided to have the insignia of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj on INS Vikrant, the Congress raised a stink. When we decided a couple of years back to change the name of Aurangzeb Road to APJ Abdul Kalam Road, the Congress raised a stink. When we decided to change the name of Rajpath to Kartavya Path, the Congress raised a stink. And mind you, in 30 seconds, when we decided to have that majestic regal lion emblem atop the new parliament building. The Congress again raised a stink, and you know what it said? You said the Congress said the lion is looking unduly aggressive. It is looking very ferocious. It has its fangs out. It is snarling. Excuse me? Are lions not supposed to be confident, regal, ferocious, aggressive? What is wrong with you guys? In your visceral hatred for Prime Minister Modi, you want to even obliterate the rich cultural history that we should all be proud of, irrespective of our political affiliations.
Okay, before it becomes, one second, sure. Before it becomes a right royal shouting match between the Congress and the BJP, let me expand this, because there are two other individuals waiting patiently. Let's get their views first, and then I'll come back to you all for debates. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I know what will happen. Tehseen will say something. He may hit you below the belt. Then you will react, and we will be in a crossfire. So I'm being very clear. One second. Now let me just bring in Mr. Mohandas Pai. Mr. Pai, see, the BJP is looking at this as the Congress party smearing our Sanatani traditions to oppose, or to, let's forget even opposing Modi, but to score political brownie points on the eve of a momentous occasion. Do you buy what the BJP is saying? Do you buy that line? I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, Rahul, there are two things. One is, if this was a Congress government which had built parliament, you can bet your last rupee their nominee prime minister would be here inaugurating, and nobody will create a controversy. Second, my view is very simple. When this is handed over by Prime Minister Modi and kept in parliament, I want to quote Pandit Nehru when he made this famous Thrice with Destiny speech. The soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. This symbolizes the soul of a nation, which is long suppressed for hundreds of years, which is finding utterance. And when it found utterance, the inheritor of the British era, a feudal lord, chose to keep it away as a walking stick to beat the people of this country who fought for the freedom, and he claimed that he got them freedom and beat them with it, ruling almost like an imperial lord. Now, finally, when this gets a rightful place, Rahul, we must all stand up and salute and say, the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. To me, the says, Tehseen says, or anybody else says, to me, the symbolism of this day, that we will see a Sansad built by our own people, out of our own taxpayer money, not by a foreigner, not by a white man, and our representatives who are supposed to represent there will go and make laws for us. And in that Sansad, there will be this beautiful, very beautiful object which symbolizes the transfer of power from a feudal imperialistic power to the very old civilizational power being kept there, fills my heart with great pride. I don't care what Tehseen thinks. I don't care what Nikhil Jain thinks. I don't care, like most people of this country, what the Jairam Ramesh thinks, because they're all darbaris, family returners, who will bow before a family that sits in Delhi, who said the inheritors of the famous person who took over. I mean, such a shame.
So hang on.
These people talk like this and defame their own country.
Okay, so let me just make a couple of points. Okay, well, 1 second, Mr. Jain. Just give me 30 seconds, please. There is also Rahul Ishwar, and I just want viewers, you to know something. You see, Mr. Poonawala said that the Adhinam has not said all of this. There are two references I want to make. One, Mr. Pai said that, look, had this been a Congress government, their nominee prime minister would have gone. Now, I don't think he's speaking in any way out of turn, because there are some facts. Sonia Gandhi laid the foundation stone for the new Chhattisgarh Assembly. She wasn't trailing in the order of precedence the governor of that state. That's one thing. Nitish Kumar inaugurated the central hall of the Bihar legislature. That was in 2019. In Andhra Pradesh, 2017, former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu inaugurated the legislature building in Amravati. There was no governor. Manmohan Singh joined by Sonia inaugurates the State Assembly complex in Manipur. In 2010, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh with Sonia, who was Sonia Gandhi at that time, I don't know, in what capacity, doesn't know, opened the world's first green legislature building, viewers, in Tamil Nadu in 2010. So, look, when it comes to hypocrisy, no one masters it better than the Congress party. Let's be very honest about that. Now, you can fault Mr. Modi for aping a precedence which doesn't sit right. Fair enough, you can accuse him of that, but you certainly can't accuse him of hypocrisy. He's just continuing a tradition. Now, we may object to that tradition, that's a different matter, but Rahul Ishwar, I also want to bring to your attention what Tehseen Poonawalla said, and he actually misrepresented a fact. And Tehseen, please bear with me. I have pulled out the official release of the MUT. And this is what it says. You said that the Adhinam said that, oh, this, we weren't involved, this, that, the other. Now I'm quoting an official release. Please look at it yourself. You can look at it on the net. Trying to reduce the importance of the use of Sengol as a symbol of transfer of power for the sake of politics is sad and unfortunate. Calling such events bogus or false is like trying to raise questions about our credibility. The fact that we were invited to conduct a ritual for the transfer of power is well documented by multiple sources, including our own records. Our Adhinam honored the invite of Rajaji, and we got a Sengol made and gave it to Lord Mountbatten, got it back from him and presented it to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in elaborate ritual. The Swami who presented it to Nehru also made it clear that the Sengol was a symbol of self-rule, unquote. So today, Mr. Poonawalla, the Congress party has not just upset the Adhinam, but also the MUT, also disregarded the legacy where this comes from, which goes back more than 1,000 years. And most importantly, it is also dismissed as bogus a vital part of our history and our modern history.
May I reply to this or after Rahul?
After Rahul Ishwar. Yes, Rahul Ishwar. Go ahead.
Rahul Shivshankarji, just two submissions. Every one of us can agree. The word Sengol comes from semi-kol. Kol basically means road in Dravidian language, and semi means righteousness or dharma. So basically, it is a road of dharma. That's the whole meaning of Sengol in Tamil, or in Malayalam we call it Chengol. So it's a very important occasion, and it is not just another occasion. It is not tokenism. There is a deep spiritual, cultural, and civilizational significance to it. You know, very similar to a crown. If you are handing over a crown to somebody and saying that they are just handing over a cap, that doesn't make a sense. And similarly, if you can even take it the recent British coronation, where the scepter with cross and scepter with dove was handed over. See, there is a deep cultural and civilization significance. How can we decode it? How can we, not attach it to the history and civilization? And especially, this has been a practice of ancient civilization for centuries altogether. So please don't demean for any political reason the spiritual, cultural, and civilizational significance, because at the end of the day, it is demeaning dharma. And somebody has written beautifully regarding the presence of Nandi and the dharma in it. And basically, it is because the rule of dharma is there. So the cultural, civilizational context is there. And as many people rightly pointed out, Nehruji was a part of the ritual. The word ritual is very important. Nehruji was a part of ritual where hymns were chanted, where mantras were there. Nehruji thankfully accepted. We all know that he is an atheist, but thankfully he accepted to be a part of great Indian civilization's ritual. So it's a very important thing. It is not like you are going and handing over to somebody else. So it also shows a significant respect to Nehru. But the Nehruvians presently in the government, presently in India, or Nehruvians are not even accepting what Nehruji did, is an absolutely unfortunate thing. So my only humble submission is, please understand the civilizational, centuries-old significance of Sengol, or what you roughly call a spectre, and understand it's a road of dharma. We shouldn't lie about dharma for political reasons. And great spaces like Adhinam should not be dragged into controversy, because there are people who have given up their life for sannyasa and dharma, and questioning them is akin to questioning the entire Hindu civilization. So please understand and take their word at the face value, understand the significance, and understand the civilization history. See, when crown or when the Sengol is handed over, there is no other meaning except this. And whoever calls it walking stick has done a serious crime against Indian civilization.
Well, they called it a walking stick, and now they've called it bogus. Yes, Tehseen Poonawalla, go ahead.
Thank you, Rahul. Respectfully, 2 points. let's assume, and I will now bust this myth, but let's for a minute, let me play the devil's advocate and assume that Nehruji was wrong. He put it as a walking stick. Let's assume all of it was true. Why did the most honorable Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji not remove it and change it? Was Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji also an atheist, anti-Hindu, anti-India? That's not the truth. So let's not go there and let's not demean. Now let's come to what Rahul Ishwar and you said. Both the Rahuls are absolutely right.
Ridiculous.
And I'm accepting it. There was, sir, Mohandas Pai ji, I never interrupted. You don't do this. Let's not heckle, sir. I have a lot of respect for you. Please allow me to make my point. Let's assume, I'm saying it myself and what the Adhinam ji said. Yes, there was a ritual. Yes, it was handed over to Nehru ji. That is separate. We are talking about the transfer of power. Adhinam ji, in this press conference that you show, says there is no evidence.
Sir,
of
there is a statement now. Look, we can't deny it. It's in black and white, and here it is. It is a statement. Please see.
May I humbly ask you, sir? Sir, may I humbly ask you? Sir, please don't. Sir, just give me 30 seconds and I'll ask. May I humbly ask
But Tehseen, why are you being so obdurate tonight? Here is the statement.
Please allow me. Play the press conference, sir.
I have given you the statement.
Sir, play his bite. What does the
I have put the statement out there for you. Can you not see the statement, please? Let's put it on screen. And let me read it. And who is this? Sir, please. Now let's,
Sir, you've not allowed me to
I can't
finish.
argue with somebody who's got blinkers on. I mean, this is a statement, viewers.
Sir, allow me to make my point.
You have made your point. Play the bite, play the bite, play the bite. Maybe we've cut the bite in a particular place because it was cut in our newsroom. Maybe we missed out something. But I have the statement. Here it is.
Sir, again, please play respected Adhinam ji.
My dear friend, here is the sound bite. I mean, here is the press release. It's there in black and white. Am I lying?
Please play his
Am I lying? Tehseen, am I lying? Do you not see this?
Sir,
I'll WhatsApp it to you. What's your number? No, hang on. I'll just WhatsApp it to you. 1 second. You open it and you read out of it. No, 1 second. Let me just 1 second. I must have it. Give me a second.
Please, but allow me to speak after that.
Just please have a look. And I don't want to waste time now because I think the point is being stretched too far. It's on air. Please look at it. Please look at it. It's in your WhatsApp. Please. Now, I just want to say one thing, viewers. There is also another misconception, and Nikhil Jain had made this point. Why is he giving himself? Who is the monarch? Now, let me tell you, viewers. Prime Minister Modi is not getting anybody to submit this to him. He is submitting it actually, viewers, to the nation. Where?
Claiming it.
In the people's house, in the Lok Sabha, he is giving it back to us.
Right.
He is not putting it away in a museum. He is not posing with it to look like he is some monarch. He is not getting photographed, looking absolutely disconsolate because he is holding something that holds up a tradition. Look at that expression, mournful expression on Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's face. He looks as if someone has given him, I don't know.
No, this is not.
I need to make a
Anyhow,
point, Rahul.
I'm being facetious by talking about body language. Maybe he was very solemn because the occasion was such. Give him the benefit of doubt. But I'll tell you, viewers, there are magazines who have commented on how uncomfortable Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru looked. There are authors. The book Freedom of Midnight also refers to his seeming unfortunate disconnect because he was an agnostic. But he still submitted himself, and he did believe that India civilizational
Rahul,
ethos was great. Yes.
Nehru was Hindu-phobic.
That is given to a monarch.
Okay. Now, gentlemen, let's move on. Let's move on because I really want to get to the other. We are moving on now. Very